Do you want to know what mistakes people make on their super visa application that leads to rejection? Watch this video before you file for your parents' super visa sponsorship application. Hi, my name is Abad. I'm a licensed immigration consultant based in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Today I'll be discussing the 3 mistakes that people make on their super visa application. These mistakes are commonly made by people who are submitting application on their own. They don't have a representative on file, so these mistakes are bound to happen. What are those mistakes? Okay, so the number one mistake that they make is that they don't count LICO properly. LICO, LICO. What is LICO? Well, LICO stands for Low Income Cutoff. Basically, it's a financial chart which is issued and published by IRCC every year. It's updated every year. It gives you an understanding of how much income is required in order to get an approval on your super visa application. So how do we use this LICO chart to get an approval on super visa? How do we use it? Well, as per the chart, the income required for 3 people right now is actually 46,720. That's the income required for the year 2025. Starting January 2026, the income requirement could be different. As I said before, this chart is updated every year. So let's say for 3 people, who can we include in these 3 people? It could be you. If you have a wife, that's 2 people. And then the third person could be either your mom or your dad who you're planning to bring to Canada. So that's a combination of 3. So for these 3 people, the income required would be 46,720. Similarly, I'll give you another example. So let's say you have a family of 4, husband, wife, and 2 children. That's 4 people. And plus you want to bring a mother and father to Canada under this program. So that'll be 6 people. And for 6 people, the income that is required as per LICO is $72,560. So this is how you calculate LICO. You have to be careful with those numbers because if the numbers are off and your income is not meeting the requirement, there could be a rejection on the application. So the second mistake that they make is that they choose the wrong medical insurance coverage amount. So the coverage amount that is required by IRCC as per the rules is $100,000 for each applicant. Some people think it's $100,000 for both mother and father together. No, it's separate. I'm just spelling it out so that there's no confusion. $100,000 for each applicant. 100,000 for mother, 100,000 for father. And I also recommend Canadian medical insurance companies because it's easy for you to get in touch with them. There's no issues with time zones. In case if there's any medical emergency, it will be easy for you to get in touch with one of those companies. Also, Canadian medical insurance companies are more familiar with this super visa parent sponsorship program compared to companies outside Canada, even though companies from outside Canada are now allowed, but I always recommend Canadian medical insurance companies. The third mistake that they make is that they choose the wrong documents to prove their income for super visa application. So it's funny, I've seen some people submitting mortgage documents to prove their income. I've seen people submit a bank statement with thousands of dollars, but the bank statement is stamped by the bank, so they think it's an authentic document. Also, I've seen people getting an attested letter from their accountant to prove their income. And sometimes even T4 is not enough to get an approval on super visa application. None of those documents are required. The document that is actually required needs to be authenticated by Canadian government. So I always recommend to submit a document that's required. You only need one document. You don't need a whole bunch of documents to submit for this program. As I said before in my previous video, this is a program where you need specific documentation to get an approval. I hope this video helps, and I hope it helps to clarify a few things before you submit the application for super visa.